Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. It's Nathan back with a video presentation. I know it's been a couple days since you last saw me. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you all had a great weekend. Hope everybody's staying safe. After a great week. Sydney, what's going on, sir? Good to see you. I do apologize. I was supposed to go on live Saturday. I pushed it back to Sunday, but because of the accident that I had at home, I just wanted to take the weekend and really just use that time to recover. I'm doing all right. Just got to take care of some business with the doctor, and we'll be 100%. I'm about 90% there. The other 10%, just comes with just getting adequate amount of sleep and just taking it easy. So, before I do get into it, there's a couple of things I want to say up front. Um, I was supposed to do 2 episodes on the Orioles and the Nationals. Those I'm gonna push that back because opening day is actually next week. So before then, those for the Orioles and the Nationals, excuse me, those expectation previews will be up before opening day. Um, Season 6, I know it's been a couple of days. I know it's been a minute since I have not uploaded everything on Anchor, Spotify. Please forgive me. This whole season has just been a complete mess. Ever since the 19th of last month, I don't know what it's been. It's just been all over the place. But I will have it uploaded. I will have some episodes uploaded on Spotify, so I haven't forgotten about that. This episode, I'm just talking about the Wizards, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Ash, what's going on? Good to see you. Sean had me crying that clip of you on Sunday's show. Let's go. Sean Spencer, what's going on? Lucinda, what's going on? Thank you. I appreciate that, Sean. Thank you. Also, too, I want to give a shout out to Nick Rosario, too. His mother, shout out to his mom back home after wishing her a speedy recovery. Just continue to send thoughts and prayers to him and to Nick and his mom. Congratulations to Janae Struther and her lovely wife as they announced the gender of their soon to be born daughter. Congratulations to both of them. Yes, so I'll just really quick after this episode, I will give my thoughts on what happened last night at the Oscars with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Anywho, be serious. Anywho, so the Wizards. Where do I begin? Well, I've pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, I've checked out. It's been hard to really watch them. They're 32-42. They're the 12th seed. Another year where I've been given false hope on this team. The slap heard around the world. I don't know what to say. Another year of failed expectations. We were 10-3. We were first place in the AFC in the Eastern Conference. I thought on paper this team would have been okay. I would have been at least a middle of the road, 6th, 7th, 8th seed, arguably. But the wheels just came off the truck. I don't know from defensive lapses, poor shooting performances, even before the trade deadline, chemistry issues to the point where Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans are coming out. They've now been since then traded to Dallas, and you're hearing these things of guys fighting over minutes. What is this? Come cheer for the Suns. I've always liked the Phoenix Suns. I think without Chris Paul, I still expect the Phoenix Suns to finish strong. I do have Monty Williams actually as my coach of the year. In my opinion, I think he should get coach of the year again. But I have a feeling they're going to give it to Taylor Jenkins down in Memphis. What about the Miami and Jimmy Butler sideline confrontation? I've seen that so many times. It's nothing new. They were at one time. They're still in first place. They know that this is a should. Hold on, I'll get to that second. I'll get to that second. Sid. They should be. They know Brooklyn now that Kyrie's going to be now back playing full time. They know Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Boston are on their tails. And that it happens. They haven't been playing. There were some few games down there they weren't playing that well, and I think you sometimes need that. I think it motivates the guys to get better, hold each other accountable. I don't want to go. I don't like that narrative on Jimmy Butler where, oh my gosh, there he goes again. Every team he touches, something happens. I think it's just not much to do about nothing. You want a guy like Udonis Haslem on your roster. I think you need that veteran on your team. So, I mean, it's much to do about nothing. Should Devin Booker be in the MVP conversation? I think so. Because MVP is most valuable player, not most valuable team. And the Phoenix Suns, they are in first place. Even without Chris Paul, they're still a legit contender, in my opinion. I think he should be considered MVP, but the way it's looking, Joel or the Joker. So, but anywho, back to the Wizards. Pretty much at this point, the Wizards are just mediocre. And that's really been for the last going out since even the John Wall era began. It's mediocre. I would have thought expectations, especially going into this year, that John Wall is no longer with us. I thought I would have seen some type of difference. Wes Unseld Jr., obviously under the Denver Nuggets tree under Mike Malone, supposed to be a defensive-minded, defensive first head coach. I haven't seen that all season. Again, like I said, portioning lapses to the point where he's coming out and saying we have to dumb down the playbook. If that's the case, then my question, it goes to Tommy Shepard. Why did we hire him in the first place? I'm not saying that Wes Unseld shouldn't be a head coach in the league, shouldn't be a head coach, but I would like to know were there other options out there. Was Scott Brooks was he the problem? In my opinion, no. Because let's keep it real. The Washington Wizards, and this is ever since 2003, 2004, there's an owner by the name of Ted Leonsis who puts Alex Ovechkin, and this is just how, in my personal opinion, who puts the Washington Capitals first before the Wizards or the Washington Mystics. It's clearly documented. I thought when we had Paul Pierce, Otto Porter, Beal, Gortat Nene, when we lost to Atlanta in the semi-conference the second round, I'm thinking okay, maybe the team went from here to here. And then it's just been like this ever since. I've always questioned some of the drafting we've had over the years. And I still question it. The last 3 straight drafts, we've drafted wing players. I know we have to get better at the wing. But now this year, coming in the draft, we're going to look at a point guard. I've heard that John Walls he's open to coming back to DC, which would be open to that because I don't think he should have been traded in the first place. Number 2, we got to figure out what are we going to do about Bradley Beal. I know he said he wants to stay in Washington, but this point where now this is going, we're going, like I said, we're going into years now with the rebuild, and I'm just not comfortable giving a guy all that money and we're just mediocre. The same thing with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, as great of a scoring point guard he is, they're never going to win in Portland. They're not going to attract free agents to Portland. Then same thing with DC. We can probably attract some mid-level free agents. I'm not expecting us to get a Kevin Durant or a LeBron James, for example, but I thought KCP. I've been looking for the KCP with the Los Angeles Lake, the same when they were in the bubble. I was looking for that Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Haven't seen him. Kyle Kuzma's pretty much been the most consistent player from that trade. Harrell, they were giving him MVP chance. I mean, it's just been a complete mess this whole season. Some of these games have been hard to watch. I legitimately almost broke my laptop watching them blow a 35-point lead against Los Angeles Clippers. That was ridiculous. That was embarrassing to watch. I mean, let's just – I just want to point this out to you, okay? I'm starting back last year. We were the 14th worst overall record, but we made the playoffs. We lost to Philadelphia first round. 8th worst record. We were the 9th seed, if I remember correctly. I think after the year before that, 11, we were like 12th or 11 or 12th. Same thing, just mediocrity. Like, even again, some of the draft picks over the years. I thought Troy Brown. Like that clearly was not a miss. That was a miss, but I feel like he never got the opportunities to really just show what he could bring to the table. Now we ended up trading him for Daniel Gafford, which actually, in hindsight, 2020 was a good pickup for us. Again, what we've drafted: Rui Hachimura, Denny Abadijah, Corey Casper. They're not franchise changers. They're guys that will help your rotation out, plain and simple. Like Roy was the ninth overall pick, Danny was the 9th overall pick, and Corey was the 15th overall pick this last year. What am I saying? Like, I just feel like the Washington Wizards at some point are gonna have to really figure out, to really build an identity. Like we're just at this. Let's just be mediocre and let's just pray we get this player at this position, or let's just get at a certain position in the draft. Because it's just really just to the point where I'm really kind of sitting here going like, hold on. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. My alarm went off. I apologize. Anywho, as I was stating about the Wizards, we're going to have to really figure out what the long-term plan is, because I'm tired of mediocrity. At some point, we're really got to take a step forward or take a step and completely just start all over again. Now, Bradley Beal, free agent. I'm just, with the injuries that he's had since being drafted, and now he's out this year, he's out this season, free agent, obviously he's going to get some money. Kristaps Porzingis has 1 year left on his contract, and then he has the player option. Kuzma, same contract, same scenario, 1 year left, and then he has the player option if he wants to stay. And then Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. After that, where are we going? Where are we going in with this direction with the team? Like, I just, there's no leverage. And I just think the Wizards, they're going to have to just, unfortunately, just accept the fact We're just not going to go any. We're not going to go any further. We're not going anywhere. Look at Indiana. They traded DeMontis Sabonis to Sacramento. They got Tyrese Halliburton. I think is a good guard. Miles Turner. Not a miss, but I don't think I think it's just what he's going to be. He's out. He's actually out. He's out for the rest of this season. Look at Orlando. Look what they're building. The way I'm using those two teams, they come to my mind because look how they just said, okay, well, this is not working. We're going to completely scrap everything and start over. That's what the Wizards should do at this point. Like, there's no in just saying, I want to rebuild. Because I'm telling you, we want to re-sign Bradley Beal, even though we didn't give Porzingis and Kuzma those contracts and KCP, I mean, what leverage do we have? I mean, we can try to see what we can get for them, but we're okay with the Wizards being this team going into next year, and even if we give Bradley Beal the max, the Wizards are just going to be a middle of the road mediocre team. Guaranteed. It's hard to stomach that as a Wizards fan. It really is. This team it's just so much. A lot of it, again, I believe it starts at the top, and then I think too, it's the guys we've had over years. Ernie Grunfeld was okay, but I blame a lot of it starts at the top. I really do. And honestly, truthfully, at this point, I'm done. I can't watch these games. Like Teleonsis and the boys, they're okay being mediocre. That's cool. I mean, you made the Washington Capitals. They were at one point one of the worst hockey teams to being probably one of the most revered hockey teams. Like, if that's the case, at least they're better than our Orioles. Well, I mean, that is true. They are better than the Orioles, but with the Orioles, Sean, it's we keep in mind Peter Andrews took over the team. I believe it was 91-92. The team was winning, but I think ever since the Albert Bell contract, he won't spend money. He just won't. Like, and that's another example. I remember one year, I'll never forget this as a kid. I remember reading it in the newspaper. He was like, this is going to be the year. We've heard you fans. We're going to do all these things. This man would try to go after Paul Konerko. Who else? It was top market free agents at the time. And I'm like, oh my, hold on. What year was that? Now I'm curious. Because it was just false hope. Like, I think one year, it was like Paul Bird, he let BJ Ryan walk to go to Toronto at the time to become the highest paid closer in the game. I'm just like, what year was this? This was 2006. This is 2006 year. So he's like, quote, we're coming back strong next year. I know you've heard that line before, but this time it will literally come true. Because I remember Rafael Palmeiro, Sammy Sosa, I think BJ Surhoff, they're free agents, right? So, like I said, he let BJ Ryan go to Toronto to become the highest paid player. This man went after Paul Konerko, Johnny Damon. We couldn't get them because they weren't going to come to Baltimore. Those are the top guys he went after. He could have. They didn't even. I remember. I think that year, AJ Burnett, Kevin Millwood, because the asking price was their asking price was something we weren't going to pay. But we did sign Ramon Hernandez, who actually was a good catcher. We also got Corey Patterson that year and Chris Benson. Oh my God. Corey Patterson actually was a good outfielder for us. I remember he hit the game tying grand slam against the Texas Rangers that one season, and we didn't make the playoffs that year. Like, look at them now. Mike Elias has come in after the horrendous job those last couple years Dan Duquette did. I blame Dan Duquette and Brady Anderson for their egos getting in the way of trying to build the team. Mike Elias has come in with Baltimore, and look what he's built. He's built the number one farm system in baseball. I give it this year, going in next year, you should see some guys like Adley Rutschman, those guys start to compete. But my point is with the Wizards, it starts at the top. As Ted Leon says, when are you going to treat the Wizards like you treat the Capitals? Like, let's keep it real. Like Alex Ovechkin, I'll give him 3 good years left. And then when he's gone, then what? Like, if he can build the Capitals to where their success is, he can do that for the Wizards. But we don't live it. Unfortunately, we got to be realistic. This is just what he is. And it just seems like they're okay with being mediocre. Like, that's a tough pill to swallow. At some point, we're going to have to consider just rebuilding. It's just not going to work. I just don't think re-signing Beal, Porzingis, and them is great. But I'm just to the point. I'm done. I'm really done. Like, we've got how many games left? We got less than 2 weeks. We've got 8 games left. They play the Bulls tomorrow. I can already tell you right now we're going to lose. We're going to finish off. I'm going to say we're going to finish the season off with 35 wins. Guaranteed. And we'll probably have, like, in the draft lottery, somewhere between 10 and 15 again. Guaranteed. Like, that's where I'm at with the Wizards. That's where I'm truly at. I can't stomach these games. Like, some of these games, like they beat Golden State last night. You know, Kristaps Porzingis has had some fourth quarter games where, you know, he's a closer. I like that. But, I mean, we got a revenge against the Lakers. We lost to the Rockets, like 115-97. We beat the Pistons by 3. I knew we weren't going to beat the Bucks last Thursday evening. But the rest of the schedule, we've got Chicago, that's a loss. Orlando should win that game. Dallas, that's a loss. Boston, that's a loss. Minnesota should be a win, but we'll see. Atlanta, that's a loss. New York, loss. And then Charlotte.
Guys, I can't look at this anymore. I'm done. Unbelievable! Raccoon!
And then Bradley Beal came out and, you know, he's pretty much kind of like, at this point, he said he's open to staying, but guys are trying to recruit him. Listen, we all know he wants to leave. It's okay. I'm not mad at it. I just think that after 4 years of the Bradley Beal era, no result, 1 playoff appearance. It's not his fault, but this is just what the Wizards are. And I can't stomach it. I can't. I really can't. Like, he can make, I think it's supposed to be like over $245 million for 5 years. Like, the Miami Heat would get him, could get him. Philadelphia could get him. But I mean, Miami, that'd be tough because they have to give up some. They're going to cut corners, probably like maybe like a Duncan Robinson or something like that. Philadelphia, like, we could have gotten Ben Simmons, but yeah, what actually killed that was Bradley Beal having to get wrist surgery.
Relationship with your
Oh
children.
my God.
So, that being said, in closing, listen, I love the Wizards. I will love this team to the day I die. But I just, for this season, I've thrown in the towel. Stephen Curry won an Oscar award. Oh yes, Lucia Harris. Yes. Um, what was I saying? For this season, I've thrown in the towel. I'm done. I can't watch. I can't stomach any more of these games. Another disappointing year. I'm not calling for Wes Unseld Jr.'s job. I'm not calling for it, but I do question some of the things that have happened that have not gotten addressed, or there's no accountability over this so far this season. Chemistry issues, defensive issues, poor shooting. I just don't understand it. I really don't. And a lot of that's can go to, I can look at him, but I can also look at these players. I don't know if it's the system. I don't know what it is, but at this point, do not throw the towel on your team. Lucinda, I can't. I just it's hard watching these games, man. When you watch on TV your team blowing a 35-point lead, how would you feel? If your team was in first place for a week, and then now looking outside in, not going to make the play-ins, and is now a potential lottery team, a draft lottery team. That's not directed at you, listen. That's how I feel about the Wizards. That was the episode of Bar Rescue. That spore, that's the Wizards. That's what they are. Like, it's just, when do we clean out the freezer? When do we start cleaning out the mess and just start and let's just start anew? I'm tired of being mediocre. Enough's enough. I can't. And if he wants to stay, be my guest. But we're going to be mediocre with him, with Bradley Beal. Like, I look at this team, there's no franchise guy. Obviously, going into the draft, going to the point guard, number one, the kid out of Davidson, can't think of his name, I apologize. The point guard of Davidson, he's good. Lee, I think Lee. Maybe, but something tells me that they're going to draft another wing player. Beyond me. They're going to have to really figure out an identity next season, and they're going to have to figure something out. But we got 8 games left. I'm done. I can't. Lawyer. Thank you. I'm done. I can't.
It's ridiculous. It's obvious what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
So when are we going to say something about it? You know what? I'm going to walk away. I'll be right back, because I'm scared I'm going to say something that might get me in trouble, because I'm pissed.
And to poke at the bear even more, there was a study that came out. A survey said that the Washington Wizards have the least disruptive fan base in the NBA. For 10% of physical aggression was carried out, 20% throwing objects, 17% profanity, 24% spitting. Against the league, physical aggression, 50% experienced, 23% carried out. Throwing objects, 48% experienced, 41% carried out. Profanity, 47% experienced, 36% carried out. And spitting, 35% experienced, 32% carried out.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
There's not that many people at the games. What do you expect? There's not many people. There's not that many people at the games. I mean, look, shout out to the Wizard fans that are, the Wizard fans, man. But if you have people, if your attendance is actually good, where your team, there's not that there's. If you're filling seats, it's different. But when you're not, it's different. It's different. Like, I don't know. I've given up. I'm throwing in the towel, the white flag. I'm done. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. How y'all feel about the Wizards? I can't. I can't. I just want to real quick, Lucinda, that was not directed at you. That clip. That's just my frustration with the Wizards. They're just like that spore on that walk-in freezer. That's what they are to me. I'm done. Y'all have a good night. Stay up.
Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.